Where art thou, Bishop Gerardo Zendejas? Cry, cease not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their wicked doings, and the house of Jacob their sins. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Souls are confused. The resistance is bleeding, and one of its own bishops remains silent. Today we ask, not because we are worthy, but because the sheep are scattered and the shepherds are silent. You once stood with the resistance. You once warned of betrayal. You were consecrated by a bishop who once fought alongside Archbishop Lefebvre. But now, where do you stand? The new Mass, poison or nourishment? This Mass is poisoned. We are clearly obliged to reject it. It is out of the question to encourage people to go to the new Mass. Archbishop Lefebvre said this in a cone on April 11th in 1990. The Novus Ordo Mass bears within it a poison harmful to the faith. This quote was taken from Archbishop Lefebvre in Open Letter to Confused Catholics. Even if the new Mass is valid, it displeases God. It must therefore be rejected. Whoever understands the problem must no longer assist at it because he puts his faith in danger. This was said by the Dominicans of Avrier in 2015. And yet, in May 2016, you hosted Bishop Williamson at your Texas chapel, less than a year after he publicly declared, "There are cases where even the Novus Ordo Mass can be attended with an effect of building one's faith." Bishop Williamson said this in Mayopac, New York, on June 28th, 2015.
There are cases when even the Novus Ordo Mass can be attended with an effect of building one's faith instead of losing it.
You promoted the event. You shared his sermon, but you said nothing. You did not warn the faithful. You did not clarify your position. You did not defend Archbishop Lefebvre's words. Instead of refuting the idea that the new Mass could give grace, you allowed that voice to speak unchallenged from your pulpit. Vatican II, ambiguity or heresy? We must never waver. We may not compromise. The Council and its reforms have poisoned the Church, said Archbishop Lefebvre. And the Council and its reforms have introduced a new orientation in the Church, one that is no longer Catholic. But Bishop Zendejas, you wrote, "The apparent conflict between obedience and truth rests on ambiguity. For instance, at the time of Vatican II, there were those ambiguous terms which could be understood in one way by Catholics and in another way by modernists. At the time, it was Father Zendejas. He said this in the Blue Paper, number 300, in November 2015. You blamed ambiguity, not heresy, not rupture, not apostasy. Even the recusant asked in reply, "It rests on ambiguity, not error, then?" Nowhere in your writing have you called Vatican II a direct attack on the faith. Nowhere have you said what Archbishop Lefebvre said, that the Council itself and not merely its interpretation must be rejected. Instead, you soften. You suggest that Archbishop Lefebvre desired union with the Vicar of Christ as soon as possible. Yet Lefebvre himself declared in 1988, it would have been Operation Suicide. Sedevacantism. Where do you stand? Archbishop Lefebvre never doubted the legitimacy of the Roman pontiff. The visibility of the Church is too necessary for its unity for the hypothesis of a popeless Church to be valid. But where is your voice, Bishop Zendejas? Have you warned the faithful against Sedevacantism? Have you publicly condemned the growing confusion? We have not heard it. Where can you be found? If there could be salvation outside the conciliar church, then there is salvation outside the SSPX or other traditionalist groups. Again, Father Zendejas. And he wrote this in the blue paper, number 300. But that is a question, not a warning, not a wall, not a shepherd's voice. Your companions. Silence in the face of error. You were consecrated by Bishop Williamson. You work alongside the Dominicans of Vatican II. And yet, Bishop Williamson said the new Mass can build faith. Bishop Williamson said the time for structure is past. Bishop Williamson said not every priest must leave the conciliar church. The Dominicans of Vatican II have acknowledged problems with the society's leadership, but have refused to state plainly that the SSPX, the now NeoSSPX, has betrayed Archbishop Lefebvre's mission. Even among Bishop Williamson's own priests, confusion reigns.
This is what Bishop Williamson understands. He says, I can't send you anywhere. I can't give you a mission because I have no authority to give you a mission. And so we're without missions.
And from Bishop Williamson himself.
I'm not going to be under any illusion that it's going to be me that puts together another SSPX. No way. Time is over. Put away your toys, everybody, and get with it. Grow up.
Your Excellency, have you condemned these positions? No. In fact, you continue to align with them publicly. You support their apostolates. You share their stages. You give no correction. Not to oppose error is to approve it. Not to defend truth is to suppress it. Pope St. Felix III said this in the year 492 AD, where Archbishop Lefebvre named names: Casaroli, Ratzinger, Bugnini, you name none. Where he built seminaries, communities, and orders, you say nothing as the resistance fragments and dissipates. Where he warned the faithful, you are silent. The SSPX, betrayal or brotherhood. It is dangerous to put oneself into the hands of conciliar bishops and modernist Rome. It is the greatest danger threatening our people. This was, of course, said by the great Archbishop Lefebvre. But Your Excellency, what have you said about the now NeoSSPX's recognition of marriages by Pope Francis?
News from Rome, first of all, regarding the society concerns provisions for our marriages. What does that mean for the society, and how will it affect us practically?
Looking at how Pope Francis deals with us since a certain time, it is very clear that it is a benevolent step against us and not a trap, not a bad hidden trick or catch.
Their doctrinal talks with modernist Rome, their silence on Vatican II.
You can understand the Council the Catholic way by about 95%, which means there are a lot of ambiguities, but you can still give in this text a Catholic understanding.
You wrote of their vacillating attitude in 2016. But where was your public letter when they accepted canonical jurisdiction from Pope Francis? Where are you in 2025? Where is your warning as the now NeoSSPX deepens its alignment with modernist Rome?
We hold to two things. We do believe that the new rites are valid. We do believe that the new Mass is valid. So it's a valid rite.
Where was your warning when they refused to condemn Assisi, Abu Dhabi, and Pachamama? The faithful are confused because their bishop says nothing. Clarify or compromise. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 8. You were consecrated to preserve the faith, Your Excellency, to confirm, to ordain, to stand in the breach, but you have not used that sacred power to defend the sheep from error. Instead, you have walked beside it. You have said nothing. Your Excellency, where do you stand? Will you say clearly that the new Mass is a poison, not a means of grace? That Vatican II is not ambiguous, but heretical? That Sedevacantism is false and dangerous? That the now NeoSSPX has betrayed its founder's mission? That those who tolerate these errors must be corrected publicly? Or will you remain silent? The time has come to choose clarity or compromise. Woe to the shepherds that feed themselves. Should not the flocks be fed by the shepherds? Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 2.
My dear Catholic friends, use your minds. I could go wrong. Believe me, I could go wrong. And you've got to be constantly measuring your priest against the doctrine, the true doctrine of the Church. I hate to say that. I wish I could say, rely on me, because I guarantee you that I will lead you to heaven, because I can't say that. The Church will lead you to heaven, but I'm not sure that I will. I could go crazy 6 months from now or whatever.